Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you very much for the class.
So it's a little bit late, but I think we will be doing for 15 minutes. And it's always better to have these vibrations before we go to bed with a peaceful mind.
Yes.
Hare
So,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So today, actually, we started this doing one shloka this week, and every day 15 minutes. So to actually we are reading daily uh, chapter a day initiative where we read one chapter of Bhagavad Gita every day individually at whatever time is available. So in that we are reading chapter 10 verse 21 to 42 every day. So what we have done is we have started from 21 and going forward as we every day. So today we are checking Bhagavad Gita chapter 10 verses 26. So just to give little bit outline about this chapter. So this is a chapter in Bhagavad Gita whose name is opulence of the absolute, or what we say in Sanskrit, Vibhuti Yoga. Vibhuti means opulence. So opulence or the strengths of power of the supreme. So in Bhagavad Gita, the chapter 7 to chapter 12 are describing the devotional service or bhakti to Lord. And chapter 9 and 10 are the center of these six chapters, which give us the essence of bhakti. And chapter 10, in the beginning of chapter 10, Krishna gives Chaturshloki, which is from 10.8, 9, 10, 11. These shlokas are Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita. And then Arjuna asks Krishna, how I can remember you in this world? Because Smaranam or remembering Krishna or Lord is the one of the Anga of Bhakti. So Krishna is asking how I can remember you in this world. So, sorry, Arjuna is asking. So now Krishna is replying to Arjuna's question, and he is giving different. What Krishna says that I will tell you my opulence, but that which is uh, because my opulence are unlimited, I will tell you only the opulences which are prominent in this material world. So from there, Krishna has started giving different examples by which we can remember, so by which Arjuna and we can remember Krishna. And so by remembering, we do Smaranam, that is also Anga of Bhakti. So today we check 26. So the other shlokas are available on the YouTube. So maybe Jayashri can send those links, but if time is available, you can check those so that you will get the idea what has happened till now. So today's shloka is 26. So the shloka is like this: Ashwataha sarvavrukshanam devarshinam cha narada gandharvanam chitraratha siddhanam kapilo muni. So here also Krishna gives four opulences or description of four ways we can remember Krishna. So what is the, so we'll read the translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. All the trees I am Banyan tree, and of the sages among the demigods I am Narad. Of the Gandharvas, I am Chitraratha, and among the perfected beings, I am the sage Kapila. Purport. The banyan tree, Ashwatha, is one of the highest and most beautiful trees, and people in India often worship it as one of the daily morning rituals. Among the demigods, they also worship Narada, who is considered the greatest devotee in the universe. Thus, he is representation of Krishna as a devotee. The Gandharva planet is filled with entities who sing beautifully. Among them, best singer is Chitraratha. Among the perfected entities, Kapila, the son of Devahuti, is representation of Krishna. He is considered an incarnation of Krishna, and his philosophy is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Later on, Kapila became famous, but his philosophy was another Kapila became famous, but his philosophy was atheistic. Thus, there is gulf of difference between them. So, here we have to see why these examples are given and what is the opulence, why we can remember Krishna. So first part is Ashwataha Sarva Vrukshanam. So among all the trees, I am the banyan tree. So banyan tree we have seen in India. In there are a lot of banyan trees, but here there are few. I think in Okinawa there are these trees, but banyan trees are very strong and they are very long lived. There are banyan trees who are there for 500 years or more than that also. And they spread on wide space around them. And from their trees also develop roots that go down to earth and into the ground, and that makes the foundation of that tree very strong. In Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 15, Krishna compares this material world as a banyan tree, which is very complicated structure and which is very illustrative how our karma and our reactions bind us. So there also Krishna gives this example. So banyan tree is representation because it is very thick and strong stem. So the base of the tree is strong with the roots from the roots also going into the land or earth, it becomes more strong. So when we see a banyan tree, we generally, if it's a long, means the tree is there for 500 years, if we see that tree, we immediately become astonished how this tree is surviving for these 500 years, how this tree is so strong. And if you see the seed of the banyan tree, it's very small. So from that one small seed, how this complicated and so strong banyan tree is coming into picture or is existing, this thought or this vision, we get surprised or astonished. So whatever in this world, natural things where we get astonishment or surprising feeling, that is the opulence of the Supreme Lord. So that banyan tree is one of the opulence of the Supreme Lord. So whenever we see banyan tree, we can remember that this tree is created by Krishna, and that way we can remember the Supreme Lord. Devarshinam cha Narada. So Rishi is the sage, and Devarshi. So who is Deva among the Rishis, or who is the greatest among the Rishis? So Narada, we know Narada is a very a personality who is in all the Vedas and Shastras. He's there, and he can travel throughout all the universe to any place, anytime, the way he wants. Okay, he goes to demons, he goes to uh, gods, he goes to all the places, right? Means and he can advise anyone, and people take his advice. For example, Hiranyakashipu and his wife Kayadu, right? So Hiranyakashipu was demon, and then Devatas were ready to kill Hiranyakashipu, and they prepared the army also accordingly to kill, and they were about to attack Hiranyakashipu. Okay, at that time, Narada Muni came, and Narada Muni saw that Kayadu is pregnant, and Supreme Lord is a devotee of the Supreme Lord is going to take birth from Kayadu's womb. And we afterwards we know that Prahlad was born of Kayadu. So just imagine that all the devtas are ready to attack Hiranyakashipu and they have good chance of winning the situation. But at that time, Narada instructs all the devtas that you please don't attack Hiranyakashipu, don't kill him, don't give any trouble to his wife, because there is a devotee of Lord who is going to take birth. And what happens? What is the result? Devtas all agree to what Narada says. Okay, so the sages at the old times, their main duty was to give guidance to the Kshatriyas, and the Kshatriyas used to respect that. And Narada gave guidance to Devtas and also to demons. We know in Krishna Lila, Narada goes to Kamsa several times and he uh, induces Kamsa to send different demons to Vrindavan. So, and Kamsa also hears him. So, Narada shows great authority on devtas and demons at the same time. And it's very surprising that they both know that Narada goes to demons, Narada goes to devtas. They each other they are aware of this thing, but still they have so much faith in Narada that if Narada says anything, demons or devtas, they are ready to agree and they follow Narada's word. So, this is also very surprising that in spite of knowing the character and the way he is operating, everybody is agreeing to what Narada says. So, this is a surprising and this is a strong faith in Narada that everybody has. Uh, and in which everybody gives up their own desires. So this faith and this strongness is a representation of Krishna's opulence. So that's why Devarshinamcha Narada. Among the Devarshis, I am Narada. The third part is Gandharvanam Chitraratha. So Gandharva are the celestial beings who are good in singing and dance, right? And Chitraratha is their leader. So this Chitraratha story, or he is also called Chitrasen in Mahabharata. So his story is there in Mahabharata when Arjuna goes to Swargaloka, he meets Indra, and there he is learning singing and dancing from Chitrasen or Chitraratha before Pandavas go into Agyatwas. Okay, in that during that story there is also story of Urvashi. Urvashi induces Arjuna to marry her, but Arjuna refuses. So at that time, she was ready to curse Arjuna that you will be important for whole of your life. At that time, Chitraratha or Chitrasen interfered there, and he told Urvashi that you should not do this. Somehow he pursued Urvashi to take back his her curse by 1 year. Okay, so that was Chitraratha's energy or power by which he stopped curse on Arjuna. So that is astonishing, like how he can control Urvashi also. Also, there is a story in Mahabharata about Chitraratha coming, Chitraratha and Arjuna's fight when the Pandavas are walking in the Agyatwas and they reach in near the Ganges and their Chitraratha is there. So there also he becomes friend of Arjuna and he offers that I will give you my power, mystic powers, but Arjuna didn't take that. And also there is story of Chitraratha where he comes to humiliate Duryodhan, and there he defeats Karna, Duryodhan, everybody. And then Duryodhana is bound, and then Kaurava goes to Yudhishthir and they request that please release Duryodhan. So Yudhishthir tells Pandav and Chitraratha that you release him. So there also we understand that Chitraratha is also very brave. that he fights with Arjuna or he fights with Duryodhan. And also on the same side, he is teaching music and dance to Arjuna. So these two sides are very opposite, a feminine side and a Kshatriya side, but they are mixed in Chitraratha. So this is one of the opulence of God, how two different opposite things can be in one place. That's why Krishna says, Gandharvanam Chitraratha, among the Gandharvas, I am Chitraratha. So fourth part is Siddhanam Kapilo Muni. So Siddhas are the beings whom we say who are perfect in their life or who have achieved the perfection in their life. Okay, so Kapila Muni's story or his Leela is in third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. He is a son of Devahuti, Kashyapa and Devahuti. And Kashyapa is one of the seven great sages. So their son is Kapila Muni, and he teaches Sankhya Yoga to his mother Devahuti when she takes shelter of Kapila Muni. And also, after teaching Sankhya Yoga, he teaches his mother the greatest way to surrender to the Supreme Lord. He teaches Bhakti Yoga to Devahuti, by which Devahuti, who is his mother, she can achieve the perfection of his life. So Kapila Muni is also an incarnation of the Supreme Lord to teach the Sankhya philosophy and also Bhakti, both together. So Sankhya philosophy is like the theoretical analysis of this material world and the spiritual world, or how this material world is made and how Supreme Lord creates it and why he creates it. So all this he teaches to his mother and delivers his mother. So the fact how Kapila Muni delivers his mother and explains bhakti to her is very surprising and astonishing for everyone. So uh, here also, among the perfected being, I am Kapila. So these are the four examples that we see in this shloka that we can remember Krishna. So whenever we see any tree, we can remember the best of the trees is banyan tree, and which is representation of Krishna. Whenever we see a sage, we can remember, oh, Devarshi is Narad, and Narad is representation of Krishna. Whenever we see anybody dancing or anybody singing, we can remember, oh, Gandharvas are the best in dance and music. And among them is Chitraratha, Chitrasen is the best, and who is Krishna's representation. Anyone, even if we see any person who has achieved or who is trying to achieve perfection in the life, we can remember that, oh, Kapila Muni is the most perfect and he is the representation of Krishna. So in this way, in our regular life, whatever we see around us, how we can connect it to Krishna, and by this connection we can always remember Krishna. So these are the different ways how we can do smaranam, which is one of the important part of devotion to the Supreme Lord. So thank you very much. If anybody has any comments or if you want to add anything, whatever we have said, then please feel free to give comments or questions, or you are sharing. Anything is fine.
Can you explain more about Sage Kapila, like why he is called the perfected beings?
Kapila Muni is incarnation of Supreme Lord, right?
There is
And
many incarnation of Supreme Lord.
yeah, so one of that is Kapila. And among the perfected being, there are many sages or many Muni. All the Munis are perfect. They try to achieve the perfection, perfect goal of the life. Among all the perfected, the best is Kapila Muni, and he is representation of Krishna. Because all Munis strive for perfection. So it's not that only Kapila, but Kapila Muni, as son of Devahuti, he is explaining all these things. That is an astonishing fact, that how a son preaches to mother in the devotional service. Because Kashyapa Muni is the one of the great sages, and his wife is Devahuti. So they both are already devotees of Lord. That's why they are Prajapatis and they are in that situation. But still, Kapila Muni is preaching Devahuti. So that is a surprising fact. That's why he is a representation of Krishna. Any other comment or question or any advice how we should do this? Please suggest. We'll try to make it 15 to 20 minutes so that everybody can give that much time.
Hare Krishna, it is easy to understand.
Thank you very much, Mataji. I hope it helps everyone to remember Krishna, or at least Supreme Lord, in our daily duties.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Chapter 10, I always used to read, but I never used to understand, like, why is it given in this way? Why Krishna is saying in this way? But when you are explaining it, I can understand it nicely now. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
It's very important chapter actually. Generally, we see, oh my God, why so many examples? And we just quickly read it and go forward. But,
Yes, yes.
but these are very great opulences and stories behind that.
Yes. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Actually, about Ashwatthama tree, like banyan tree,
Mm.
there are so many trees, right, which we use, like coconut tree, mango tree, which we call nice trees, like mango leaves. We use mango is the best fruit, but still,
That is auspicious.
banyan
Mango tree is auspicious, but banyan tree is also auspicious. You ladies only worship banyan tree, right?
Amla tree also we worship, but
Yeah.
why then there is that maybe it's because it's huge or it's having long life.
It's very long life and it's very huge. If you see, if you read the 15th chapter, first shloka, we can understand how complicated it is. That banyan tree, if it's very long-lived banyan tree, you cannot understand which is the real root, which is the main root, which are the sub-roots, and how those twins are going here and there, how the branches are there. Cannot understand that. Then you become surprised. And the mango tree is not like that. It's not complicated. It goes up and branches are there. The coconut tree is not like that. It just goes up and coconut comes. But it's not so huge that you get surprised. Oh, there is coconut tree. We never say like that.
It means this chapter is kind of opulence of Krishna, right?
Yeah, of course, Vibhuti yoga. Okay, thank you very much everyone for joining so late and giving your time. Because you all join, we also learn to understand about Krishna and Supreme Lord and Bhagavad Gita. So tomorrow we will do at 8:30 in the evening, and tomorrow we will do 10:27. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Take care.
Hare Krishna.